Welcome back, everybody. We're diving into Nigerian entertainment today.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Always. A little bit of music, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of
A little
film.
bit of drama, too.
Oh, yeah, you can't forget that. And speaking of drama, that's where we're going to start this post from Chika Ike. Caught my eye.
Oh, yeah? What's she up to?
Well, she's pregnant. But that's not really the story here.
Yeah, she addressed some rumors that were swirling around.
Yeah, about the father.
And that whole connection to billionaire Ned Loco.
Yeah, a lot of people thought she was going to be wife number 7.
Oh, interesting.
But she put those rumors to rest pretty quickly.
She did. She came out and said, polygamy isn't for me, pretty definitively.
Yeah, she did. And, I think it's great that she's, really pushing back against the constant speculation and demanding some privacy.
Right. It's her life.
Exactly. But you know what makes this even more interesting is this comment from Very Dark Black Man?
Oh, what'd they say?
Well, they mentioned a previous apology.
That's curious.
It is, Fred. It's like what happened before. It definitely adds a layer of mystery to the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But, while we're talking about things that are kind of mysterious, let's move over to the music world.
Okay, what do we have?
Asake and YBNL.
Oh, yeah, they parted ways.
They did, and the YBNL manager had some things to say about it.
Yeah, they posted that they went above and beyond for Asaka.
Above and beyond. Like what?
Rented a 40 million naira apartment
Whoa.
for 4 days just to try to keep Asake happy.
Wow. That's serious commitment.
Apparently not enough, though. He still decided to leave.
It makes you wonder, what's really going on behind the scenes?
Right. Is this common in the music industry?
I mean, how often do we see these kinds of splits?
Yeah. And what does it say about the relationships between artists and labels these days?
Especially with Afrobeats exploding. Like it is, maybe artists are looking for more control.
Yeah, maybe better financial arrangements.
It's something to think about for sure. But speaking of success and remembering where you came from, how about this story about Tiny?
Oh, yeah, that was really heartwarming.
She went back to her late father's school in uniform?
I loved that detail.
Me too. And then she pledged to pay school fees for 3 students.
What a gesture.
It really speaks to her character,
Giving back to the community that helped shape her.
And that line in the post, always remember your starting point.
So important.
It is, especially in a world that's so focused on, climbing the ladder and achieving success.
It's easy to forget where you came from.
Exactly.
So it's nice to see someone like Tani really embracing her roots.
It is. And, it's a nice contrast to that Asaki story.
Oh, yeah. 2 very different approaches to success.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about Davido now.
Okay, what's he been up to?
His new album, 5 Ive, is going to be huge.
I heard about this Cardi B, Rihanna, Chris Brown.
All on the album.
Wow, he's going for it.
He's not messing around. He wants this to be the biggest album ever.
Ambition.
He's even said that he's prioritizing the album over Grammys.
Interesting, putting the art first.
Absolutely. And, speaking of global recognition, Ayra Starr won big at the MOBO Awards.
Oh, yeah. Best International Act.
She beat out Kendrick Lamar, Beyoncé, Nicki Minaj.
What a lineup. That's a massive win for her and for Nigerian music in general.
It really shows how much influence Nigerian music is having globally.
For sure.
Okay, but before we move on, we need to talk about Nadu and his podcast.
Oh, yeah, this one's a little controversial.
It is Ugo Nwokolo, a former Mr. Nigeria, came out and accused Nadu of pressuring him to say negative things about women on his podcast. Nadu admitted to prompting Ugo, but said he didn't mean any harm.
So it's kind of a great area.
It is. It raises questions about the ethics of podcasting.
Right, like where do you draw the line between entertainment and manipulation?
Exactly. And how much responsibility do podcasters have to protect their fasts?
Lots to think about there.
Definitely. Okay, let's lighten things up a bit with some other fun posts.
Sounds good.
Sabinas had some nice things to say about Funny. Emma even hinted that he could be his successor one day.
That's nice, passing the torch.
It is. Shows you the camaraderie in the comedy scene. Then there's WizKid, low-key birthday, but still a huge influence.
He doesn't need to be allowed to make an impact.
Nope, his music speaks for itself.
And how about Nasboy, most creative comedian in Nigeria?
That viral video on divorce was brilliant.
He really knows how to use humor to tackle tough topics.
And make people think.
Exactly.
So as you can see, the Nigerian entertainment scene is just buzzing right now.
Talent, ambition, generosity, controversy.
It's all there, and it reflects a society that's constantly evolving.
For sure.
And now let's take a deeper dive into some of these stories and see what they reveal about the bigger picture.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
It's interesting to think about Asake leaving YBNL and how much things have changed.
Yeah, the whole label system.
Exactly. I mean, it used to be like the be-all, end-all.
Right. Get signed. Get that deal.
But now with the internet and social media,
Everything's different.
Yeah, artists can connect directly with fans.
Build their own
And
brands.
Afrobeats is just blowing up globally.
Huge.
So maybe artists are realizing they don't need labels as much anymore.
Yeah, maybe they're looking for more control over their careers.
More ownership, more say in the creative process.
And potentially more of the profits, too.
Makes you wonder what's going to happen to record labels.
Yeah, will they adapt?
Will we see more independent artists?
It's going to be interesting to watch how it all plays out.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about Davido and this new album, 5-5.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be big.
Cardi B, Rihanna, Chris Brown.
Wow.
That's a statement.
Definitely aiming for global domination.
He wants this to be the biggest album ever.
And he's not even focused on Grammys.
Prioritizing the art over the accolades.
I respect that.
It's going to be fascinating to see how it's received internationally.
Yeah, how it bridges Afrobeats with other genres.
Will it be a cultural phenomenon?
We'll have to wait and see.
Speaking of global recognition, we have to talk about Ayra Starr's MOBO Award.
Yeah, Best International Act.
Incredible. Beating out some massive names.
It's a big win for her, but
So
also...
Nigerian music as a whole.
Exactly. It shows how far Afrobeats has come.
It's on the world stage now.
And it's only going to get bigger.
Okay, so before we move on, let's circle back to that Nigu podcast situation.
Oh, yeah, this one's tricky.
It really brings up some ethical questions.
The whole issue of responsibility.
When you have a platform like
As
it,
a podcaster, you
have to be careful.
it's entertainment, but you don't want to exploit people.
It's a tough balance.
And this whole situation with Ugo Nwokolo.
It just highlights how important transparency is.
And ethical considerations.
Especially as podcasting becomes more and more popular.
It's a powerful medium.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
That's the truth.
Okay, enough of the serious stuff. Let's get back to some fun.
Sounds good.
What do you think about Sabinus giving Funny Emma that shout-out?
I thought it was really sweet.
Passing the torch, supporting the next generation?
Mentorship is so important in any field.
It is. And then there's WizKid, Mr. Loki.
Still making waves.
Doesn't need the spotlight to stay relevant.
His music speaks for itself.
And the fans love him.
Yeah, he's a legend.
And then we have Nasboy, most creative comedian in Nigeria.
That's a big title to hold.
He's earned it, though.
His humor is so smart.
And he's not afraid to tackle tough subjects.
Using comedy to make people think.
Exactly. It's a gift.
It is.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are some of the things that are standing out to you?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the Nigerian entertainment scene is evolving.
Yeah, it's changing right before our eyes.
The power dynamics are shifting.
Genres are blending.
And there's this growing sense of social responsibility.
Plus a global presence that's just exploding.
It's an exciting time.
I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me neither.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's explore a few more stories that really highlight the human element of this industry.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
I mean, you gotta love what Teenie did.
Oh, yeah, paying those school fees.
Talk about making a difference.
It's really inspiring.
And it's not just about the money.
Right. It's the thought behind it.
Exactly. Going back to her roots.
Remembering where she came from.
And, you know, those 3 students.
Their lives are changed.
And who knows who they'll go on to impact.
The ripple effect.
Exactly. It's powerful stuff.
And it sets such a good example for others.
It does. Like, hey, if you make it big,
don't forget where you came from.
Give back.
Be a difference.
And we're seeing more and more of that in Nigerian entertainment.
Yeah, it's becoming part of the culture.
Like Davido with all his charitable work.
WizKid, too, advocating for young people.
It's great to see.
They're using their platforms for good.
And it's not just the big names, either.
Right, up-and-coming artists are getting involved, too.
It's like this wave of social consciousness.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. But, beyond the good deeds.
We can't forget about the talent.
Oh, yeah, the creativity's off the charts.
Like Ayra Starr.
Her music is just so unique.
Captivating audiences worldwide.
And Nasboy is
so clever.
Using humor to tackle those tough topics.
It's a special skill.
It is. And it's all fueled by this rich cultural heritage.
Centuries of storytelling, music, performance.
It's in their blood.
And now it's being shared with the world.
And the world is loving it.
Afrobeats is taking over.
Nigerian film is making waves.
Comedy's breaking boundaries.
It's an exciting time. So where do we go from here?
What does the future hold?
Will Nigerian entertainment continue to dominate the global scene?
Will it inspire a new generation?
Will it change the world?
Who knows? But the possibilities are endless.
One thing's for sure, though.
What's that?
Nigerian entertainment is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
A force for creativity, for innovation, for social change.
And we're all lucky to be witnessing it.
That's it for our deep dive this week. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back next week with another deep dive into the world of,
you guessed it,
Nigerian entertainment. Until then, stay curious.